Hey, everybody. We are live on BROfessor BATS and Friends. Thank you for joining us. Here we go. Boom!
Boom.
On this Thursday. Welcome to the show, everybody. Glad that you are here. Tony, welcome.
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 Good to be here.
We have some special guests on with us tonight and have a lot to talk about. We have an extremely small guest, probably the smallest guest we've ever had on the show. Baby G is in the house. He is live and kicking and likes to move around a lot. So you'll have to keep up. You have to keep up.
Yeah.
Well, we have had 1 week of winter weather just now. I mean, we still have ice that hasn't melted yet. It is crazy. I noticed that, Brandon, y'all were able to get out and enjoy the snow and ice a little bit.
Yes, sir.
How was that for y'all?
Man, it was nice. We just took a day trip up to the Ozarks, went by Car Wash Falls, just kind of took it easy. We didn't want to get no steep mountains and slide or get in any trouble, so we kind of just took what we could and ran with it that day. So.
Well, that's a good plan. I talked to my good friend who is a forest ranger up in the Ouachitas. Daggum, I keep getting a cramp in my leg. It's killing me. That's part of being old. And he said he came upon several. One was like a Lincoln car that was off in the ditch out in the middle of the national forest. And he said, you know what? They deserve to be there. So he just left them there. And so anyway, it's just, you have to be smart when you get out and do things like that. It just, that doesn't make any sense for me. So, but the winter weather, this is 2 years in a row. I think we went like 5 or 6 years without getting anything. And this is 2 years in a row that we've got ice and snow. And it's almost like we live up north. It's really crazy. I don't really know what to think. They put in AMI days at school where you can miss without it counting against you. And for 5 or 6 years, we weren't ever able to use them. We never used them because we were never out for snow days or whatever. And then boom, here we go. 21, 22. We've missed more days of school in the last 2 years than we've missed in the last 30 put together, probably. Pandemic and snow and all this mess. It's just been crazy. It's just been a weird week. Now, Tony, I know you've been busy on a project. What you've had going on?
Man, I've been working on this trailer like crazy.
I have seen the bottom side of that trailer a lot. I'm ready to start seeing the top side.
You and me both.
Yeah.
You and me both.
Well, I know that you're starting from scratch. A buddy of yours gave you it's pretty much like a shell of a trailer. And you will have probably the biggest tires on any trailer I've ever seen. It's almost like it's going behind an earth roamer. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Silly. It's silly.
Yeah, we took my FJ up there and worked on it, and I just felt about little old bitty tall. I felt like a little gnome because your trailer tires were twice as big as my FJ tires.
Yeah,
and it was just weird.
It was a struggle finding a jack tall enough to get it level. I didn't think that one through, but oh well.
I guess if you want to have your rooftop tent about 18 feet off the ground, that's the way you got to go.
No, I'm just going to need a short rack.
Short rack. Yeah, short rack. Well, that's the thing when you've got a Tacoma, you try to figure out whether you want a short rack or tall rack. Same with the Gladiator. So I guess that goes for the trailer as well.
Yeah.
Well, I had a horrible time trying to track down an electrical problem that I have, and I can tell you there are two things in this world that I hate and I'm not good at: electrical and plumbing. Oh, I have solved my electrical issue, and now I'm on a plumbing issue on my trailer. And today I made my 4th trip to Home Depot, and it just seems like, and I got a confession to make. I just got a confession to make. So I get home with my parts last night, thinking that I've got everything that I need for this plumbing issue. Get home with my parts. I try to put everything together, and it just blows my mind. I'm like, why did I buy this stuff? I really don't know why I bought it. It won't fit anything. Nothing screws into anything. It won't fit. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I stand in line today. I leave work. I stand in line to go take my parts back and get different parts. Wait 20 minutes, give my parts back, and no lie, I ended up buying the same 2 things that I took back. I mean, I don't know how that happens. I just can't do it. I can't do plumbing. It's not my deal. And but we'll work our way through it. But I can promise you this, and think about this, Tony, when you're working on your trailer, simple is better.
Yeah.
Simple is better, because I have created this complex system of spider webs with wires going here and plumbing going there and crisscross this, and it's about to drive me absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all of that's coming up. I'm getting the bare bones figured out, but
I cannot
plumbing
wait.
and electrical is next.
I cannot wait. It's like, when you pour a foundation for a house, you start getting excited, and then when you see when they get it, all the wood goes up, and when they get it in the dry, you start really getting excited. You're about to get it in the dry, and I'm real excited about that.
That's right.
But that's what we've had going on. But we've got some extremely special guests with us tonight. Brandon and Haven Waters, the Wandering Waters from H2O Overland. We are really excited that y'all are here. I've had you on my show one time before, and you were a family of 3 back then, and now you're a family of 4. You've had a lot of. It's amazing how something so small can change your life so much.
Right. I'm telling you.
And how much stuff they have.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that when I was thinking about things to talk about you with. I know how it is with me and my wife and my dog. So it's like 2 of us and the dog, and how much stuff we have. And I remember when I had kids that size, it was like every time we go somewhere, it's like moving. I mean, it's like you take everything you own. And that was one of the things that I wanted to visit with you about. I know that your packing, your preparation, everything has changed since Baby G has come along. So share with us a little bit about how everything has changed, because we know that y'all go out a lot. That's no secret.
Right.
And so instantly, everything changed as far as packing and planning. How tell us a little bit about that process now.
Well, we keep all of our kitchen stuff fairly ready to go and clean at all times, but we had a low profile bed rack with a 23-0 Walkabout 62 that fit us 3 at the time fine, but like you said, we've accommodated another one. So, and it's just not right to leave one kid out in the tent by himself, and so we've had to get a bigger rack for more room in the bed. We bought a Lettner design rack from Adam Bryant up at Okie Overland. We bought the bigger gear pod so we could move a lot of our stuff out of the truck into a pod, on the side of the truck.
2 car seats now.
Yeah, now we got 2 car seats, so the back is filled up in the back of the Tacoma right now, so everything has to move to the bed, even even some of our bags, our clothes and stuff. So we're having to shuffle around some stuff, but we're getting there.
Yeah, overall, as far as like luggage, we have done good to stick with 1 bag for him, which I was shocked, but we have made it work. We pack a lot of diapers, extra clothes, medicines, a snot sucker, and I mean he doesn't do bottles, so that makes it a lot easier on cleanup and whatnot. Yeah. But as far as his luggage, I mean, it's just one extra diaper bag, and then sometimes we share a bag if it's just like a one-night trip. We're pretty minimal when it comes to like clothing and whatnot, so that helps a lot.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we know y'all go out a lot. It was y'all put it out there. I believe it was 2020 that you put out a post about how many times that you had been out throughout the year. How many weekends was it?
48.
Yeah.
48 out of 52.
Yeah.
So how has that changed in 2021 when Gatlin came along?
Well, 2021, it really didn't change until about right whenever he came around, and then they've started to, maybe stay home while maybe me and Weston went out for a night or something like that, if he wasn't feeling all right, or, we was just going for one night. It's just too much to take everybody. So now that we've accommodated a bigger rack and stuff, we can haul the weight down, and just it just takes some getting used to, so.
He's
and you also go ahead, Haven.
I was just gonna say he's gone probably about 10 camping trips. I don't know. Yeah. It was just when it was super duper cold and he was sick. We clearly didn't want to catch anything, but he's been going out pretty nonstop. It's just and for the most part we all go out. It was just a few times where he'd been sick, so it hasn't really slowed down too much.
And Haven camped all the way up to 40 weeks pregnant in the middle of summer.
In the middle of the summer. I was feeling your pain because I know about the hot flashes and all that other stuff when you're pregnant, and the men have sympathy pains, and so I was feeling that for you.
Right.
There's no shortage of pictures. Y'all take a ton of pictures, and we really love that because that's the story of your life, and you're letting us all. You're sharing it with us, and we greatly appreciate that. It's awesome. But that I love the fact that it didn't take you long to get him out and to start teaching him from just a few weeks old about getting out and enjoying nature and posting the pictures. In fact, we have several pictures uploaded here, and I wanted to share with everybody my favorite one. This is probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
So you told me when this was. When was this?
Christmas Day.
Yeah, that was Christmas at Steel Creek this year.
Christmas at Steel Creek. I see his little outfit has the Christmas lights on there.
Reindeer.
The reindeer. I see the reindeer jacket with Christmas lights. That's awesome. But I love the fact that you instill in your children your love for the outdoors, and tell us about why that is important to you.
So Weston has been camping with us. We all started going as family when he was about 3, and he just slept in his own tent from the very beginning. He's always loved the outdoors. Mm-hmm. This dude started camping when he was 4 weeks old. In the dead heat of the summer, it was August. We went to Lake Ouachita. He's just a different child outside. Even from day 2 and 3, if he was nonstop crying, we would just take him outside and it would just calm him down. And Weston loves playing outside. He loves playing with sticks and rocks. He's your typical boy. He will find the craziest things and just play and have his imagination going. So I think just getting them outside, especially in a world that's so full of technology and electronics, which is great, but in the grand scheme of things, we were given this earth and the nature, and we just love to enjoy it as a family, and I think both of our boys will grow up appreciating that.
That's awesome.
I agree. I work with children every day, and I see the effects of technology that it has on all of them and how they crave it and how you can hardly get it away from them because that's all they know. All their free time, that's how they're spent because their parents don't get them outside. And,
which we try not to do.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I got to brag on Brandon a little bit. I was very impressed because the volunteering for the football coach for your son's football team in probably the most beloved time of the camping year. The sacrifice that you made there was just incredible for you to volunteer, for me to know how much you love getting out and camping, and for you to volunteer for your son's football team in the fall, which is, if you live in Arkansas, the summers are just outrageously horrible. Right. And then when fall comes, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's the most beautiful time of the year. It's the best time of the year to go camping. And here I am seeing you coach football on Saturday mornings, and I'm thinking, oh, the sacrifice that you make for your children is incredible. It's great. I love it.
We go to games all packed up, though. Don't let that fool you. We left right after it was over.
Yeah. Well, you don't let that stop you. I know that. That's for sure.
Don't stop the clock.
Yeah, don't stop the clock. I always hate the coaches that call timeouts when they're 100 points ahead or 100 points behind. They're not going to be able to. They're going to be able to win the game, but they're just prolonging their time out there because that's what they live for. Well, nobody lives for that except you. So quit calling the timeouts. That's a word to the coaches out there. Well, I want to talk about your rig and the different things that you have done to change it up in order to make an account for 4 people instead of 3. I know you've done quite a few different things to it, but before we do that, we like to take a little bit of time out in the middle of the show and do a spotlight of one of our sponsors. Here we go.
It's now time for the Sponsor Spotlight, talking about all the products, services, events, and businesses that we use and love. Here we go.
All right, this week we are going to talk about one of our newest sponsors, if not our newest sponsor. We're going to talk about our Lifesaver water cans. Now, this is something I've never seen until I actually got this in the mail. This is probably the most heavy-duty water can I've ever seen. I think you could run over this with a tank and it wouldn't even put a dent in it. It's crazy how thick this thing is. It is completely amazing. It's got a pump on it where you can pressurize it, and then it's got a water nozzle on here where the water comes out, and the filter on here is absolutely insane long. I think that's what was that, Tony? Like 18 inches?
Probably.
That's got to be. It is crazy. Now, I wrote down some stuff about how Lifesaver water filter started. Come on, tear something up here. Lifesaver water filter after 2 catastrophic natural disasters in succession, which was the tsunami in Indonesia in 2004 in the Indian Ocean and the Hurricane Katrina. British inventor Michael Pritchard set out to create a portable water filtration device capable of providing a sustainable source of drinking water. After many attempts, he eventually created the first Lifesaver water bottle in 2007. This was the world's first portable water filter capable of removing the smallest known waterborne viruses. And now, since 2010, they have caught the attention of the British Army, who use theirs all around the world, and they are now getting into the overland world, which I think is really cool because you can take this water can, and they also have water bottles, and you could put it in any water whatsoever. Not only did it have that humongous water filter, but it also has a carbon filter at the end of it, so it filters out everything. And Tony, do you remember how many gallons it will do before you have to replace it? It's unrealistic.
I don't remember.
We'll have to look that up. It's like 30,000 gallons.
Yeah, it's
before
crazy.
You have to replace the filter. That's unreal. I mean, will I ever drink that much water in my lifetime? I mean, come on. No. That's a lot of water. And if you take water with you, I have water cans that we use for washing our hands, for washing our dishes, for taking showers with. You don't have to drink that water. And so having a water can like this makes it where you can put it down where you can actually drink the water. When we were in Big Bend, we went down and we paid, how much did we pay for water?
Wasn't it a dime a gallon?
It was like, it was like a dime a gallon. So we went down and we filled our water jugs up with this water hose, paid a dime a gallon, and we could have filtered it with this, and that was reverse osmosis water, which I have no idea what that is. We don't have that here. It's like osmosis, but it's in reverse. And so really don't know what that is, but I could have filtered out all the osmosis with this water filter. And so I think this is cool, and I think it's going to be awesome because I can put it in my new holders on my rear bumper that I absolutely love. So
yeah, I can't get over how sturdy it is. You know, I'd never seen one in person. When I saw it, it looked like a blue water jug to me. I was thinking it's probably similar to the jugs you'd see at Walmart.
Yeah.
No. The only thing it has in similarity is the color, but this thing is so like, it's crazy.
Anyway. It's crazy cool, and I'm actually in love with it. So
yeah,
it's going with me everywhere, because you don't have to put everything through the filter if you don't want to. If you're going to wash your dishes, you don't have to run it through the filter. It comes out a lot quicker. But having clean water, that is something that we all need every time we go out. Do not fill your cans up with stream water, creek water. You don't know what protozoas and memorabilias are in there. You just don't know.
That's right.
And so you got to filter that stuff out.
Misty hooked us up with the deets.
What?
The deets. Details.
10,000 liters, which nobody in America knows how much that is. 2,641 gallons. That is...
That's a bunch.
5,283 gallons. So you can fill this tank up 5,000. How much does this hold, Tony?
It's probably close to 5 gallons.
5 gallons. So you could fill this up over 1,000 times before you have to change the filter out. That's a lot.
That's
a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of drinking.
Yeah. And on this Thirsty Thursday, and I don't know if anybody has put it together, but we're having H2O Overland, and we're talking about water filters. Did anybody catch that? Woohoo! That's how good we are. We're talking about. Well, not only that, but tell them what else, Tony. Tell them we got a surprise for them.
This is a surprise. So there's a giveaway on this. So we're announcing a giveaway today. I think we'll run it for a couple of weeks, but for those interested in winning one of these water tanks, jerry cans or whatever, you can, if you go to Lifesaver's Instagram and like their Instagram, like Joy the Professor, Bats Off-Road Instagram, and here in a couple of weeks, we'll draw a winner.
That is going to be pretty cool. I'm very excited about that. These are not cheap, okay? These are very solid. They're made for the military grade. They are not cheap. They're around $300, I believe, is what they are. So, but as a sponsor, they have agreed to give one away to one of our amazing listeners, and I am really excited about that. So we will be putting that out there on our social media this week and doing that for a couple weeks, and see if we can't give one of these away. I'm excited about that. Our first giveaway, Tony.
I know it. It's exciting.
Yep. Well, we do so many world premieres on this show. We can't. Amazing. So, Brandon, back to you. Tell us about your setup and rig and how it has evolved here lately into what you have now.
Well, last year I thought, we had everything kind of sorted out how we wanted it, and then we had the low profile bed rack. We had a tent that kind of fit me, my wife, and my oldest boy, Weston, and I thought I liked the low profile bed rack, it wasn't high up, I could fit everything in the bed, but as soon as the little one come along, we figured, we got to start making some room, even if it means, cutting down some trail time, and having a better, base camp set up for us and the kids, and do a little bit more base camp and enjoying it with the kids, let them play, explore around the creeks, woods, you know, kind of make it more fun for them, you know, but a little bit more relaxing for us as well.
Yeah.
So
cool.
So we upgraded to a Lettner bed rack, full rack. So that gave us a lot more space in the bed. We can fit all of our clothes, everything in the back. We got the big XL gear pod Lettner makes for us to fit our sleeping bags, pillows. They'll fit in that. And then I just purchased, Lettner makes a water hydro pod that mounts on the side of the rack. It doesn't have a filter or anything, but it has a pump. It's pressurized. It hose, all that. But I like that Lifesaver thing y'all have. That's pretty nice setup for drinking purposes, right? So
Yeah.
you don't have to
run out of water.
Right. But
now that has changed. So you went to the Lettner rack here recently, about a month ago, and you did have. Now we camped with y'all. I guess it was 2 years ago at the Sasquatch Festival. I can't remember how long ago that was.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago, I believe.
That was 2 years ago, 2020.
Right in the middle of all the nastiness.
Yeah, we camped in a cow pasture. We had to step over all the cow patties and the 4-foot tall grass and all that. And back then, Weston had his own tent on top of your trailer. So you had 2 rooftop tents.
Yes.
And you carried everything in your trailer.
Right.
And then that changed. You put him in a Gazelle. I don't remember how long ago it was you sold your trailer. You got rid of your, well, you did have like a enclosed trailer, didn't you? When you started out?
Yeah, before we had a rooftop tent, bed rack, any of that. We had a little Sunray Sport, little teardrop style trailer. And that's what we called our first rendezvous, which was the second year they had it, which was the first year at Birds. And it rained and whatnot, like it usually does, you know.
Yeah.
So that was our first rendezvous. We got to see everything, you know, be around other trailers. We really didn't know no one, you know. And then by next year we had a bed rack and we had a Smitty built. We bought the smaller Smitty built tent, you know, kind of started off, make sure we liked it, you know, and it kind of just evolved from there. We decided we liked it so much that we bought a 23-0 Walkabout 62 from Aaron up at Artemis. And I mean, any questions I had, you know, he helped us. He made sure me and my family was going to be comfortable, you know, in the 23-0 tent. And man, it's been a great all around tent, man. We actually still have it, but we're looking to upgrade to a hard shell really soon. Hopefully we get to go pick it up this weekend. So we can fit all 4 of us in the tent now and maybe even move the pillows and the blankets up in the tent. So that'll open a little bit more space for all of us as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, do you, have you done anything on your setup that you've regretted, that you wish you hadn't have changed, that you would go back to in a heartbeat? Or do you like where you are now, where you've gone?
Well, I ripped off my back bumper. It's probably October last year. And I bought the Coastal Off-Road high clearance rear bumper, you know, thinking I could, you know, I could get it welded myself, you know, but man, it just turned into more of a project and a headache. I wish I'd have just bought a bumper that was already built, you know, and
yeah,
I mean, it come out, you know, I only got about $500 in the bumper. So, I mean, I can't beat that, especially what the prices are now.
No
you
kidding.
know,
Right.
So, but other than that, I've been happy with everything I've purchased. You know, if we've gotten rid of it, it's to upgrade to better things. It wasn't just because it was junk or anything. So
yeah.
Right.
Are you satisfied with your Tacoma, or are you looking at other vehicles down the road?
I'm satisfied with it right now. I just paid it off last year, but Haven just paid off her Ultima, so we're looking at getting into a house in the next year or two, a new house. So we want to get that rolling, and then maybe find her a 4Runner or something, you know, that she can trail off if she wants to go play on the weekends, you know, or whatever she wants to do with it, you know, kind of give her to play with us. But
yeah,
as long as the Tacoma's kicking, I don't I don't plan on going anywhere with it. I got too much invested in it
I'm
lately.
right there with you. People ask me every day, what are you going to do if something happens, if you blow the motor up in that FJ? You got so much time and money tied up in that thing. I was like, well, I'll just have to put a new motor in it. That's the way it's going to go.
Exactly.
You know, not all of us can have a new vehicle like Tony. So, you know, we're pushing 200,000 miles, and Tony's got like 8,000 miles on his.
12. I've got 12.
Oh, he's got 12. Oh my gosh, you've worn it out, Tony. You might as well go trade it in.
The last vehicle I had 13 years.
Yeah, you've done well. And I remember you said you cried when you got rid of it. So,
I did.
Yeah,
I
you
did.
become attached to them. I'm the same way. Every time I walk out the door in the morning and I walk past my FJ, I look at it and I say, hey to her. I say, good morning.
Good morning.
You know, because that vehicle has taken me to some amazing places, given me so many memories. And I don't understand how people trade every year and just do it every year, because it's like part of the family. Yeah. You know, and
I usually go out and share a cup of coffee with mine in the morning. I mean,
oh, I love it. Well, you know, it's sometimes you just build that relationship, and I don't.
Yeah.
You know, people. I've been asked in the last month, why are you putting a $3,000 rear bumper on an $8,000 vehicle? I said, well, you know, that's just the way it is. You know,
that's the way it is.
And you know, I've got a lot of big plans, and Tony and I were talking before we came on the show. He said, do you have a backup plan in case the FJ lays down? No. I mean, I've got another FJ.
You got another FJ in the driveway. Just swap motors.
You know, and I would highly recommend to Brandon to get his wife a 4Runner. That way you've got a backup. You know, Tony's got a backup. Everybody needs a backup. You can't just have one vehicle, off-road vehicle.
We're working on it.
So anyway, it's it's just one of those things, you know. But I'm with you, Brandon. I don't care what the wife gets. She can trade that FJ off all she wants. Get her a new Land Cruiser. By the way, babe, I'd love it if you got a Land Cruiser.
Ooh.
You know, 4Runner, whatever, as long as it's not a Jeep. I don't care what she gets.
Right.
But my FJ is going to be around a while. I have got so much time.
I don't think Connie's in favor of y'all swapping motors.
Yeah. If my motor blows up, I'm gonna put a Cummins in it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna do.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But anyway, I get it. I get it, Brandon. You know, I don't care what you get, but my truck's not going anywhere. That's just the way it is.
I don't see mine going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, I've been working on mine for almost 6 years, and I still am doing something to it every week.
Yeah.
And trying to get it the way I want it. And, you know, my solar panel's out on my hood right now. And as soon as I get that done, it's going to be exactly how I want it until the next thing comes along. You always have that little thing on the end of that sentence. You know?
That's right.
Always something. Always something. Well, Gatlin's back with us.
He was done with his setup. And then by the end of the year, we had something completely different, and we sold everything and got new stuff. I'm like, you're just never content.
Well, you know, and I see where people say that you're not content. Well, I don't know. Every time you go out, something crosses your mind. Well, if this was this way, it would be so much easier. If I had a hard shell instead of this soft shell, I would have 30 more minutes or an hour more to my life where I didn't have to pack this thing up or set it up. I know what goes through my mind.
And you'd have more room to put pillows and sleeping bags instead of having to roll them up and put them in the cab or the bed or something else.
Now that we switched a low profile rack to the high rack, the putting up of the soft shell tent is ridiculous.
It's a nightmare.
It's terrible. Like, we had everything down to a T. We would flip at the same time. We would zip everything perfectly and be done in like maybe 10 minutes with our soft shell. No problem.
Yeah.
And then ever since we got the higher rack, it's doable, but I can't climb around like I used to because of him, and he's having to do it by himself. So I'm pretty excited for this hard show.
Yeah. Well, and I get that because, you know, I've been short my whole life. I've got short people problems. And, you know, the soft shell tent that's on my FJ, nightmare. It's a nightmare. And it's the same exact tent that I have on the trailer. But I can't get to all the points to pull the zipper. I have to carry a stool everywhere we go. And I can't reach everything. And I can't see because of the awning, and it's just one thing after another, and I was like, kill me freaking now. I mean, it's just horrible. Now when we take the trailer out, it's a breeze. We can set it up and take it down in 2 minutes because we can get all the way around it, and it's down where I can reach it. And so I totally get that. And I've had hard shell and soft shell tents, and we've got an iCamper right now, which is going to be a lot like what you're getting with the tough stuff. Life changer. It's a life changer. You don't have to get all the way around it. It's only got 3 sides, and you only really have to work with one side. So, I mean, it's life changing. But I put that on my wife's vehicle, so when she wants to go out, she won't have a very hard time. So,
right.
Life
Yeah,
changing.
and while on, he was talking about my future vehicle, which I would love to have, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be one more project for him to play with. So.
Oh, see, there you go with those comments.
Right.
I feel it. I feel the sarcasm and, you know, the jabbing with the comment. and Brandon's like me. I look at my wife and say, babe, I do all this for you. I do all this for you so you can get out and you can enjoy life and you can take the children out and just live life to the fullest. I do it for you. I just get to tag along. That's the story. That's our story.
That's it.
We kind of got a system now. He's the driver and I'm the navigator. So if we're both driving, then who's going to navigate him? He's going to use his own Gaia.
I can do it.
Tell himself where to go.
Well, it's a learning process. We all learn. You know, we live and we learn. We go. We can do it. We're smart guys. We're smart guys. We can figure it out.
That's right.
Yeah, we can do this. And it won't be long till Baby G's sitting up there with a map telling him which way to turn. So, I mean, he can do that.
Right.
Yeah. Weston will be one of us and G will be with the other one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let them guide us.
Oh, man. Never know where y'all going to end up. Never know where you're going to end up. Speaking of where you're ending up, tell me one of your favorite places that you've been so far. One place that is like a go-to place for you that you just absolutely love.
Here locally, man, we love going on the Illinois Bayou, kind of right in the Victor Road area. You know, there's some beautiful spots along that area. We here lately we've been going to. We just came back from Albert Pike. That was our first time out in that area, man. That's
beautiful area. I love
a whole
that area.
different style. The Washtenaws, you know, that we're not used to seeing. You know, it almost reminds you of the Ozarks. You know, it's just something you don't see Washtenaws every day.
I tell you, if you've never been, if you're listening and you've never been down to the Albert Pike area, you need to read the history of this area about how the floods came and people didn't know that the river was rising and it killed all these people. And then once you read the history of it, go down there and drive through there because it's eerie. How they have not touched the bathrooms. They have not weeded it or mowed the place. It's almost like it's abandoned. It's really, really odd. But then right past there is the bridge and where you can camp and beautiful areas. And the sides along the road by the creek are just beautiful. It's a beautiful area. But that area, when we went by there, it was January of last year. We went down there and camped, and we went by there. And I told my wife, I said, I remember when these people were killed here, when the water rose so quickly overnight, and it, you know, and they never have done anything to that place since. And it's really, really interesting.
Since we left, we read all the history, and I'm glad we waited till after because it just kind of sketches you out.
Right.
I mean,
it really does. If you know the history of it and you go down there and look at it, it kind of freaks you out a little bit. But that area of Arkansas is not like any of the other parts of Arkansas. It's totally different. It's really beautiful.
Right.
But That's awesome. I love the Illinois Bayou area.
Yes.
Car Wash Falls down through there is just absolutely beautiful. I love camping on gravel bars because you don't get in the mud and all that other stuff. And the dog likes playing in the water, and I'm sure your kids like playing in the water.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
The very first time we took Bruiser out, he did not know he couldn't swim. And so we were on the Illinois Bayou, and he walked out in the water. I said, look, babe, he loves the water. He's going to go out there and play. He walked until he disappeared. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I ran out there and I jumped and I grabbed him, and he came up and he was snotting everywhere. He did not know what happened. And so since then, we have to put a life jacket on him. So if you want to see something funny, put a life jacket on a bulldog. It's so funny. Because his head is so big and his butt is so little, the first thing that goes down is his giant head. So it's pretty funny. But we love going out there to that area. It's just beautiful areas. There's really not a bad spot out there, but there are some favorite places that we like to go. What would be your dream trip? If you could leave right now, where would you go?
Yosemite, Grand Canyon.
Yeah, we want to go to Yellowstone, the Grand Tetons. Kind of all in there. We're kind of waiting until the boys maybe get a little older, so we're a little bit more where they can remember it a little bit better, So
yeah.
But we figured we'll probably take a 2-week trip whenever they get a little older and kind of just go all up north as much as we can, cover as much ground as possible for the kids' sake too. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun with all the kids.
Yeah, you definitely want to take them when they can remember it.
Right.
It's I went on a lot of trips when I was younger, and then when I was in junior high and high school playing sports, I got 3 concussions, and it pretty much wiped out all of my childhood memories where I can't remember hardly anything. Every now and then something will pop back into my mind. My short-term memory is gone. I can't remember anything. And taking tests in high school was really hard for me. But there are those times that I remember going and camping with my dad, and there's those times with that family that's always there in that hard drive, no matter what happens. So I remember going to Disney World and thinking how much I hated it, and all that. And so those times that I spent with my dad or my parents out camping, car camping, RV doing whatever, those are the things that stick with you. And so when you're old enough where you can remember, it makes a big difference.
Right.
That's our goal.
Well, we want to talk about a few things about where y'all are going to be this year on your schedule. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. You're watching BROfessor and Friends.
Hi, I'm Barry Henderson with Turtleback Trailers.
I'm Adam with Okie Overland.
This is John with Long Creek Overland.
I'm Drew with Rock Squash Design. I'm Casey with US Action Track.
Hi, I'm Joe. And I'm Misty from The Day We Were Made.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah from Overland Pioneer.
Hi, we're Jessica and Jorge, the Limerick Wonder.
It's Chris from More Expo. I'm Misty from Lady Overlander Radio.
You're watching.
And you're watching.
And you're watching.
You're watching.
Are watching.
You're watching.
And you're watching BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends. BROfessor and Friends.
Joey the BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
To the BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
Sponsored by Artemis Overland Hardware. More Expo, April 8th through the 10th, 2022 in Springfield, Missouri. Tack Farm, Blue Sail Coffee Roasters, Linson Solar, Halley Moon Tents and Awnings, Big Iron Overland Rally, June 10th through the 12th, Mountain Hatch, Lifesaver Water Filters, MC Ranch Overland, Snowmaster Frigid, EcoFlow, Timbo Tuss Scottles, Dial Dynamics Lighting, and our good friends at Midland Radio. Thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. No pros, just bros on this show. Here we go.
That's right. No pros, just bros. No pros, just bros. Now we have a few comments that we want to throw out there. Now that Nikki says hi to Haven and the little guy from Rick England. Thanks, Rick, for joining us. Rick's from Natural State Overland. He's the mouth of Natural State Overland. So we want to point that out. If you ever see anybody talking at Natural State Overland, it's probably Rick. Misty says we are constantly dialing our builds in, and Misty, I feel your pain. And Misty and Joe, they do it full time. So I can't imagine if I was in my vehicle every day, the things that would go through my mind about wanting to change, and I only get to do it, on the weekends every now and then or whatever. I can't imagine how much worse it is for y'all. Plus, they have 3 kids and a dog, 2 vehicles. So that's got to be something. Kara joined on late. She said, have you got the tent yet? I believe you said you're going to try to pick it up this weekend.
Yep, Saturday morning we're heading up to Tulsa to pick it up.
Oh,
that's exciting.
Okie Overland strikes again.
Yeah. He got me this year.
They can't be friends anymore.
Oh man, that's awesome. And Dylan Barber says, going tent camping with my parents is what made me love camping. Same thing. My papa took me out all the time, took me fishing, gave me a love for fishing. And then my dad and I took a 2-night, 3-day float trip down the Saline River. And I remember we caught so many fish, we had to put them in trash bags. It was just fun. We put up a tent that had like 97 holes in it, and it was like the best time ever. And I love it. Absolutely love it. Nathan's on here. What's up, G-Man? And Kira with her new pink Jeep, pink hair. I don't know if you've seen Kira. Her hair matches her Jeep now, so that's amazing. Kira, we appreciate you joining us. What do y'all have planned for 2022? Where are y'all going to be?
We're planning to be at More Expo. We'll be at Bonfire. We're planning a trip in September, a week-long trip. We're going to try to do the New Mexico part of the Enchanted Rockies Trail.
Oh, that's
with Little Man. So we're gonna. I think the week of Labor Day is when we're shooting for right now. So we kind of just started talking about it this past week and kind of getting ready to do that with a little one. So it'll be an experience.
Could go really well.
Yes, it will.
Right, and then we'll be at Rendezvous, of course, and we should hit some rigs and coffee between here and there. And kind of.
Heck yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, Tony, give everybody the few highlights that we have on our schedule that make sure people have on their calendars for this year.
Okay, so we got all the rigs and coffee. The first Saturday of every month is up at Artemis. The second Saturday is in Bentonville at the Hub Bike Lounge. Third Saturday, the Little Rock Rigs and Coffee at Guillermo Gourmet's Coffee, I think.
That is Guillermo.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Italian.
Is he? All right.
Yeah.
So then you have, this event that I don't know if you've heard this one before. It's the More Expo. More Expo. Coming up in April 8th through the 10th at the Empire Fairgrounds, Ozark Empire Fairgrounds in Springfield. Then there's the Bonfire Rendezvous, April 30th at Mulberry Mountain Lodge. And then there's Big Iron Overland Rally at June 10th through the 12th up there at Big Brutus.
Chris, I visited with Chris this week, and I think next week we will be announcing the bands for Big Iron. So that's going to be a pretty big announcement there about what he's got lined up for that. It's pretty cool. He has gotten new vendors for More Expo every single week, and I don't know where he's putting them because he's got more vendors than what'll fit in the building. So he's putting them outside everywhere, and it's just the craziest thing. So if you haven't got your tickets for More Expo yet, make sure and get those. We won't have to fight the snow this year since it's in April. And watch, since I said that, it's going to snow in April. You watch.
Hey,
it's going to be horrible.
I've been camping and had to cook hot dogs when it was snowing on Good Friday.
That's
we camped on the Buffalo.
That's not right. Were you at the North Pole, or where were you?
No, it was Withrow Springs State Park.
Is that in America?
It's in Huntsville.
Okay. Huntsville,
Arkansas.
Alabama.
Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My sister, who I don't normally claim, was born in Huntsville, Alabama. So that's why I asked.
Okay.
Yeah, Kara, they are going to More Expo. Are y'all doing anything at More Expo, or are you just going to be normal, everyday people walking around shopping, looking for stuff to buy on your wife's future 4Runner?
That's right.
We'll probably hang out with the Rock Squatch booth. I'm sure they'll be there. They were there last year.
Oh, yeah.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, we'll just be hanging out and getting some camping in, too, hopefully that weekend. So.
Heck yeah.
Where are y'all planning on camping that weekend?
We haven't decided yet.
No clue. It's usually like a Friday night decision.
Right.
And it always changes. So. Last year we camped on the Buffalo, and it was like literally 7 degrees.
Right.
It was so cold.
It was
so cold. 2 years ago, we camped together behind Artemis. We did some urban camping.
Yeah.
Got to listen to all the car races and the sirens all night. And that was the night we bought our iCamper. And I remember how cold it was.
Last time we camped there, we bought sleeping bags. Our Austin sleeping bags from
Yeah. And we actually purchased the Austin sleeping bags because of you. Because you were the ones that told us you can get a right and left and zip them together and make one giant.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
They're wonderful.
Life changing. And it's the biggest sleeping bag I've ever been in. I can actually turn over and not choke myself.
You're right.
I love them. Absolutely love them. And we actually bought the new Austin sleeping bags that he has up there now. Oh, really? And they have moved the zipper where if you zip them together now, the zipper is on the end and not in the middle. So it's really cool, the new design. I'm really impressed with them and probably going to try them out for the first time this weekend. So pretty excited about that. So Kara says coupon code Ozark ADVA 20 for 20% off if you haven't got your More tickets yet. So thank you, Kara, for sharing that. We appreciate you sharing that and giving yourself a little free advertisement there. So very excited about 2022. Have you taken your kids on a week-long trip before yet? Or will this one in the fall that you're planning be the first time?
This will be our first week-long trip with the kids. So we'll see how this might be interesting.
We're planning on driving overnight. Hopefully that'll help a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're really good in the truck. So.
Do they travel well?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
He usually sleeps the whole time.
The oldest one is good at traveling. He usually keeps himself entertained. So, but
that's good.
We haven't.
We'll
see.
Report back.
Right.
Yeah. No kidding. Well, it'll be interesting since you're planning on doing the Enchanted Rockies Trail. That's going to be a lot of driving. It's going to be a lot of driving there, and then doing the trail itself.
I know.
During the day is a lot of driving. So. The part between do what?
I've been paying attention to the miles on per day and how long it's taking to do that. So we're trying to plan accordingly. We're not trying to rush through it. So if we don't do the whole thing, we're not worried about it. We want to enjoy being out there and with our kids and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing place. I loved it out there. The area between Santa Fe and Angel Fire is just outrageously beautiful. And we went out there in June and still had snow on the ground, and it was absolutely beautiful. So you can't go wrong with the scenery. I can guarantee you that the scenery is just amazing.
Well, we're excited.
Well, do you have any advice, either one of you? Do you have any advice for those out there who may be just getting into overlanding or camping, have small children? Do you have any advice that you have learned from taking your kids out over the years?
My biggest piece of advice would be don't make excuses to not go. Because I know tons of people that say it's too much trouble. We're just going to wait till they're older. Well, then you're just going to waste time. So just take them and enjoy them while they are the age they are and just make it work. You don't have to have every piece of the house. You learn as you go. That's why we've got everything down to a T now, because we've obviously done it so much. But I mean, you don't have to take everything. You're going to survive with that thing that you forgot. You just don't make excuses, because then you just end up wasting time. And I mean, it's time that you won't get back. So we just prefer to load up and go and just enjoy it. But yeah, I mean, it can be a lot of work, but for the most part, we just.
I think you can adapt and overcome anything, you know, and I mean, everything's a learning process. You know, you might not get it right the first time, but I mean, don't beat yourself up, or don't take your frustration out on anybody at camp. You know, just take what you learned, you know, and apply that next time, you know. And you ain't got to take the whole toy box out to the woods, you know. Limit the kids down to a couple of toys, you know, in a bag. And, you know, we take our little iPad for Weston to watch a movie before he goes to sleep, or if it's a long drive out to the woods or something. But I mean, other than that, you know, we don't have a problem with him asking to use the iPad, or he knows when we get out of the woods, we're out in the woods to enjoy it out there, and he knows that he'll get to play with it before he goes to sleep, you know, or something like that, you know. So as long as he's good and throughout the day, that is.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Move Along Adventure says, I know I wish I've started this sooner. You know, it's kind of funny. You know, it's evolved so much. Car camping, whatever you want to call it, has evolved so much over the last few years, and has really taken off in the last 6 or 7 years. That it's not even close to what it was 10 years ago. But you know, 10 years ago we were camping on motorcycles, and I pulled a trailer, and Connie and I had a tent that we pulled in our little trailer, and we'd stop on the side of the road or find us a little campground or whatever and throw a tent up. And now I've built an adventure bike, so I'm going to try to get out and try to do that a little bit more. But look who we have on here, Mr. Okie Overland himself. Thank you, Adam Bryant, for coming on the show. And Adam has a new store up in Tulsa, Okie Overland. Make sure and give them a look up, okieoverland.com, or on all your social media. Great store up there. And now he's expanded his store. He actually has a tent room where you can go in and see all the tents, and then he has a install room in the back, which is really cool. Getting new stuff in every week. So yeah, good buddy. Yes. Love me some AB.
That's right.
Rick wants to know, are you using a piece of gear that you've never changed?
The Yoda.
The truck, really, I mean, we've changed everything from stoves to how we cook coffee to, I mean, even our storage boxes, you know, they change constantly, you know, I mean, how we store stuff. I mean, we haven't just really stuck with the same thing, you know. I feel like we've always changed stuff up, you know. But within the past 2 years, we've kind of kept everything besides the Lettner rack and the pod. But other than that, we've found what we use and what works best for us, and what packs small. We use the JetBull Genesis 2. We love that setup. We got a little the little Skriddle that we seen off your video, and we've been loving that, so we don't have to haul the Scottle around every trip, you know. We've got all the kiddos, so it makes it easier for us to cook, and we pack it all down in one of those wolf pack boxes. So
if you've never seen the Skriddle, it is a magical piece of cooking gear. I absolutely love it. I actually have the half. Do you have the half or the full?
We got the half, the smaller one.
That's what I've got too. Absolutely love it, and it's tempered steel. It's not cast iron, which is my love, but I love steel as well. But man, you cook anything on it. You could throw it directly on the fire. It is portable. Absolutely love it. So the Skriddle. And
I'm gonna have to check one of those out.
Yeah. And you know, every time we have a show, somebody mentions something, and Tony ends up buying it by the time we get off. Nathan Sheffield says, awesome advice, guys. We love camping with other families. The kids tend to keep each other busy. Do y'all tend to hook up with people that have kids as well and camp with them so Weston can have somebody to play with?
Yep, Nathan's a person we go with a lot. Actually, me and Nathan actually work together. So
okay.
He has a family. He has 3 kiddos, so in a Tacoma. So he's got really the quite the load, So
my goodness.
But yeah, it's a lot easier when Weston has a buddy to play with. He always asks, "Is there any kids there?" Because we go camping with our friends. He's like, "Well, do they have kids I can play with?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Right.
So it's much easier just to keep him occupied. So we do like camping with families. Everybody is like, "Well, we're bringing our kids. I hope they don't bother you."
Right.
Like, you're not gonna bother us because we have the annoying kids that bother everyone too. So.
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
It's good.
Well, we take Bruiser. We try to take Bruiser everywhere we go because he absolutely loves exploring and getting out and meeting kids. He loves kids, and he's high maintenance. It's just like having a 2-year-old all over again. It's the weirdest thing. But he's my buddy, and it's good to have a buddy out there. And so when your kids have somebody to buddy up with, it makes the trip a lot better for them. And it makes them remember that is so and so going to be here, and then as soon as they hook up with that buddy, then they take off. They're going off playing in the creek, finding rocks, digging bugs, or whatever. So that's just all part of it that they love to do. But that is cool, man. I love having y'all on here and talking to you. It is such a pleasure, as always, and it's just amazing to see the pictures that you post every weekend, every week about the things that you do, the waterfalls you see, the exploring that you go and do. And I mean, and I love your piece of advice. Don't come up with reasons not to go. And you have went like you said, after football games. You have went when you were 8.5, 9 months pregnant. You have went when you've got a 2 or 3 week year old. I mean, you have went with every kind of nightmare that I could think of. Right. You have went and gotten out, and I admire that, love that, totally respect that. I think that's freaking awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, it's been fun.
It has been fun. I've just been sitting here taking it all in.
Taking it all in. Well, let me tell you, it's going to be fun next week. We're going to have fries on the side. Is going to be on. And I don't know what you get with your cheeseburger, but I always get fries on the side. Right. So they're going to come on here and join us next week. Look forward to that. Man, what a great week. And this is Thursday. We have the end of the week coming up. Don't know what you're doing this weekend, but I really hope you're able to get out and enjoy life and live that best life you could possibly dream of. Now, Tony's going to be neck deep in his trailer, and so am I. I've still got some plumbing to do, and I'm not looking forward to it. It's just, I wonder how many more trips to Home Depot I'm going to make.
My next trip's to the steel yard.
Oh, see, my trip to Home Depot is going to be a lot cheaper than yours then.
Yeah, I couldn't find any fenders off the shelf, so I'm going to have to fabricate some.
Oh my goodness. Well, when you buy 97-inch tires, they don't make fenders that big. So
yeah,
you're just going to have to build some. Well, I appreciate everybody being on here. This has been super fun. Always a great time with the waters. I hope everybody joins us next week with our guest fries on the side. Until then, we'll see you next week. Hope you have an amazing, amazing week. And we will be back next week, right, Tony?
That's right. Same bat time, same bat channel.
That's exactly right. I love it. I love it. Well, everybody, until then, live your best life. Look out for number 1. And don't step in number 2. Have a good week. BROfessor and Friends 2022. Woo woo.
Thank you for watching
BROfessor and Friends. BROfessor and Friends. Joey with BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
Professor and Friends.